How to fight the Zero with a Yak3, in Warthunder Air Realistic Battle. The Zero is the best dogfighter in Air RB. It can be a frustrating plane to fight against. The Zero can turn inside you very easily. Polywaffle. Zeros can hang on their props for hours, after you have stalled out. Polywaffle. The Zero can turn in under you after a head-on, using the low yo-yo and its acceleration to get a firing solution. Polywaffle. The Yak3 is fast in a straight line and accelerates quickly for a prop plane. In a shallow dive, the Yak3 will reach its terminal velocity of 675 km an hour. This is when the wings of the Yak3 fall off. This is not very typical, I would like to make that point. There are lots of planes flying around the world, without their wings falling off. I don't want people thinking the Yak3 is not safe. Let's break down a battle between a Yak3 and A6M50s. Does history offer any insight into how a Yak can counter a Zero in the game? Yes. In 1942, the United States Navy pilots countered the Japanese Zeros by refusing to dogfight. They used boom and zoom tactics, and focused on teamwork, using strategies like the thatch weave. In summary, speed and teamwork. The USN pilots also focused on superb gunnery. Cough, player, cough. Edward O'Hare chased 9 G4M Betty bombers in his Wildcat. He was able to shoot down 5, despite being low on ammunition. The B-17 the player sprayed at, will probably now drop its bombs outside of the environment, on fish, 10,000 tons of crude oil, and an ocean on fire. Stop. Hammer time. The player is above the Zeros. Good. The player is at an indicated airspeed of 524 km an hour. Good. The smart strategy here is for the player to do a high-speed pass on one of the Zeros and keep going. Hopefully one of the Zeros is slow, or has low situational awareness of the player's Yak. In no circumstance should the player turn around and dogfight. It will be 1 versus 3, and against the best low-speed dogfighters in the game. Let us see what the player does. And action. Two of the Zeros are climbing to get a shot. The player nudges higher without losing speed. The third Zero is chosen for a firing pass. Fortunately for the player, the Zero is climbing, and fixated on another target. Stop. Hammer time. The two Zeros have decided to chase. The best strategy for the player here is to extend from the Zeros by maintaining speed, so the Zeros do not have a firing solution. The player's team is close by, so the player should extend toward his team, dragging the Zeros behind. And action. When extending, a player is generally safe from Zeros at 800 meters or further. Japanese cannons are low velocity with significant drop, and the machine guns are 7.7 mm with low penetrative power. The probability of getting critical damage is small, but not impossible. The player is getting too far ahead of the Zeros. When dragging an opposing plane, you want to keep them close enough that they think they have a chance, but far enough away that they don't. The player is turning toward his team, which will allow the Zeros to cut the circle and get closer, keeping them interested. A Zero has broken away as the team piles on. Now the player can re-engage the Zeros with the advantage. Splash 1. Speed and teamwork is how you successfully fight Zeros in Warthunder Air Realistic Battle. Stop. Hammer time.